in this video for the Triax TR212 set-top box for Saorview, we're going to talk a little bit about the media player functionality. So basically, to access the media player functionality, you'd either have a memory stick or hard drive, something like this, plugged into the USB port on the back of the set-top box itself. And to access the media player and things like that, there's a button on the remote control about a third of the way down on the left hand side called media. So we'll just press in there. And what you can see then is you have a whole range of things that the box can do. So you can see it as music, photos, ebooks. The record manager is basically how to view your old recordings, and we've dealt with that in another video. Disk manager is basically, to format your hard drive, something like this. Again, we've dealt with that in another video. It'll play movies, ISO files and things like that. So first of all, we're going to look at music. Now, before I do anything, what I'm going to do actually, so you can actually hear this, is hit the exit button. Okay? Because interestingly, you can't turn the music up, while you're in the menu. So hopefully you can hear that now, and I'm going to go back into the media now. So I'm just going to access the music, and what you can see there is it's picking up the hard drive that I have connected to it. It's called UDSK1. And then all I have to do is press the OK button. I'll go into this folder here I have called Tunes, and I have 3 files here, MP3, WAV and WMA. So we're just going to play them, and hopefully you'll be able to hear them. So you can hear that playing away there. We'll try the WAV. Okay, hopefully you're able to hear that, and the WMA. And that's fine. So you're able to hear them fine. So what I want to do now is I'm actually going to just exit back out and turn the sound back down. Just give me a sec there now. So I'll just get it down to 0 there now. Okay. So the next thing then I'm going to do is go back into the media there, and we're going to show you the films. So we're going to arrow over here to movies. So I'm just going to press OK and go in. Again, you can see the hard drive I have connected to the set-top box. I'll press OK and go in here. So you can see now I have a load of test clips that we use of different formats, just to test compatibility on different boxes. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to arrow down here to one in particular, because it's the most common one we're asked about, and it's the most common one that people would have on a hard drive or memory stick. It's by far the most commonly available format that people would have. It's called AVI, but people often email us and stuff and say, oh, I have an AVI, you said this AVI would work on this box and this, that and the other. But what people don't seem to understand is an AVI is only a container. So it's what's inside the AVI that's important. And what's actually the most common thing inside an AVI is there's these things called codecs. And there's 2 types, there's a video and audio. So the most common video codec available that people would have is called XVID, and the most common audio codec would be called MP3. Okay, so with the combination of both, then you get your AVI file, and that's how you make the film or the video with your sound and picture, etc. So I'm just going to arrow down here and just press OK to play. And this is actually a very handy feature on this particular box, because I was actually testing here earlier on today, and I had played part of this video through just to make sure it worked and stuff like this. But unlike an awful lot of other boxes on the market, this box will actually ask you, do you want to resume where you left off? So if you were halfway through a film, the next time you go back, you don't have to fast forward to the point that you were at and things like that. So I'm just going to say no in this instance, and it'll play it from the start. And there you go, it's playing away fine. So I'm just going to hit the stop button there and go back. So I'm just going to try a couple of other ones here. This is a VOB format. Again, this is another one I tried earlier on. So I'll say this time do I want to resume from where I was, and that's the point I was at in the video before. So I'm just going to hit the stop button again, and we'll try another one. This is just an MPEG file. We'll hit stop button, so that works fine. So you can see there it actually works really, really well, and it's quick to use and things like this. The interesting thing is though, you shouldn't really buy any set-top box as a media player, because the simple fact is there's no set-top box on the market that will be as compatible as an actual standalone dedicated media player. But having said that, as far as things go, the Triax TR212 is about as compatible a box as I've ever seen. I have a list of about 30 different movie formats, and there was only a couple that I wouldn't play, so I was very impressed with this actually. So there's not much more I can say about that. So the next thing then, just to get out of that, and this is the point to note, actually, very important, because it's another question that people do ask us about from time to time. They often say, oh, you know, this said, you know, you could play music and photos and things like this, and my computer, you know, the set-top box doesn't recognise them and things like this. But the thing to note is, I'm currently, if you look at the top there now, in the bar at the top, it says movie, okay? So I'm in movie mode. So what that means is, the box actually looks at my external hard drive and looks for anything that can be construed as a movie, okay? It just disregards all other formats. So you will not see any music in this list, you will not see any photos, things like that. So how you get out of that then is you just press the exit button. And now, if you went into something for music, you enter music mode. And as you'll see now, it doesn't actually detect any of my films that were in the list. It only detects things that are music. So that's just a point to note, because that catches an awful lot of people out and they don't understand why you'd won't detect their music or films or photos or, you know, this, that or the other. So, and just to get out of the whole thing then, just exit a couple of times and you're back to live TV. And that's basically it, a little bit about the media player on the Triax TR212 set-top box for Saorview.